course today, take everything at your own pace, because it might get intense at some points. So we're going to start on our hands and knees, warming up through the wrists first, and we'll do a little bit of a power yoga warm-up before we move into core work. So right here in our tabletop, we'll just take our weight gently forwards and back over the wrist, really making sure that the weight is into the knuckles of the hand when you're pulling in with the fingers, so less tension on the wrist this way. Baby circles. And of course, we reverse our baby circles. I had a teacher that had a lot of wrist injuries start to do this every single day, and he said it helped before he does anything else. So I'm going to flip the fingers to the sides of my mat so they're facing away from me. I'm going to take my weight side to side. Hi, kitty. And fingers in to face your body. If that's too much on the forearms right away, it's okay. Lay off. You can have the fingers facing forwards. But if this feels good, you can begin to rock your seat back and gently forwards. Feeling the stretch through the forearms. And you can also begin a round of cat-cow here. Again, if this ever gets too much, just flip the fingers forwards in front of you instead. Flipping the fingers back forwards. Let's take a little twist. So left arm reaches up, take a deep breath in. Exhale as we glide the shoulder down and extend our right arm long, pressing the floor away from you, increasing that twist. Pressing our way back. Let's re-inhale the left arm up. And return back to tabletop. Second side. Right arm lifts. Deep breath. Exhale. Let's glide down. Extending that left arm super long. And find your twist. Back towards our tabletop. We'll tuck the toes, press our way towards our little V or downward dog shape, and doing what you need to pedal out through the feet or lengthen out through the backs of the hamstrings. Making sure that the knuckle of your index finger is firmly planted down. That has a tendency to lift off the mat sometimes, and so you want to make sure to anchor the thumb and the pointer finger down. And on an inhale, let's roll to plank. And exhale, return, bend the knees, back, upside down V. Repeating at your own pace, just warming up. Plank, down dog. Holding the next time, we are in our downward dog. And raising our right leg high. Deep breath in, warming up. Exhale, draw knee in towards the chest. Refine shoulders over wrists. Inhale, up. Exhale, we tap the knee towards the left elbow. Breath in, extend high. Knee taps right elbow. Repeating the series again. Sweeping up. Exhale, draw knee into the chest. Breath in, extend high. Exhale, we twist. Inhale, we're going to freeze the right knee past the right elbow. Stay without raising the hips at all. We extend the leg as best we can and rebend that knee a few times. Extend, nothing else changes. It's not easy. And sweep up and back, one-legged dog. Finding our way back, downward dog, straight to the second side. Left leg inhales up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, lift. Twist to the right elbow. Lengthening high. Knee to left. Repeating the series. Find your chest. Breath in. We twist. Freezing the knee. Pass the left elbow. Hold. From there, we extend the leg long to the side without affecting anything else. And rebat. A few more runs. Once the leg is re-extended, we lift up and back, one-legged dog. Into our downward dog. Take a few deep breaths. And let's melt the knees wide, finding a child's pose. Relax the head, but keep energy through the arms. Maybe even coming onto the fingertips. Finding our way towards plank. I'm going to walk my hands back towards my feet. Just taking this as a mini warm-up, curling up through the spine, reaching the arms up, deep breath. Exhale as you come through your heart center, walk out to plank again. And 3 tricep push-ups here. You can make them little if you need or drop down on our knees. Once you're done with 3, we walk back towards our feet, curl it up, and repeat the whole series again. Just going to repeat this at our own pace a few times. You can follow my pace or find your own. Just walking out to plank. 3 tricep push-ups, meaning the elbows are to the side of your waist. Those are not easy for me today. Let's go for about 2 more rounds here. Always an option. I'm going to drop down on my knees for the last 2 sets. But refining that plank if you can before you walk your hands back. Or whatever round you're on, let this be our last one. And after your 3 more rounds of push-ups, we'll find our way back towards our feet again and just hang heavy over the legs. So option to have your legs nice and long, or you can bend the knees a lot. Do make sure your head is aligned with the spine, so fully relaxed. Maybe you want to grab onto each elbow and take a gentle side-to-side rock. All right. Walking back towards our plank, going to warm up our shoulders with staff push-ups. So everything stays in line. I'm just sinking into my shoulders a bit and pushing the floor away. So nothing else is changing. There's no dip in my back or my spine. I'm just isolating through my shoulders. Kissing the shoulder blades behind me and push. Pressing to downward dog. Let's just take 2 more rounds of this. So inhale, curl through. Once you're in that plank, this is a warm-up for the shoulders. Sink and press away. Downward dog. 1 more time. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back into an extended child's pose. Line the knees. Perhaps you want to roll through the wrists a little bit here. And we're going to find our way onto our back for a series of core exercises. So before we do anything, just hug the knees into the chest, give them a little squeeze. Maybe a little back massage, side to side. All right, so legs to tabletop. Already pinning the back space down. No space can check in with your hands there to see. I'm going to start with my head and shoulders lifted slightly. And arms to support the back of the neck. Just little curls, that's all. We're just curling up and rolling down, keeping the shoulders off the whole way through. Very simple. Just warming up, tiny curls. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keeping the head down on one, hands to the side of the body. Flex the feet. Without arching in the back, see how far you can take the shape of your legs down towards the mat. Also without a V happening in the belly, and raise back up. So you may not get very far, I'm not getting very far, without arching my back. So find your max there with the control of your core and lift back. Finding yourself back in just the tabletop. It's going to be a pattern that we're going to repeat at our own pace over and over again. So I'm going to start with a little curl with my lower body, using as little momentum as possible. So I'm taking this little curl, my feet is lifted off the ground a few inches, then I'm going to shoot my legs out to 45, lift my legs back to the ceiling, back to 45, bend the knees, and repeat. Little rock. Extend long, lift to the ceiling, lower 45. And repeat, bend the knees, rock. As you're rocking, try to go super slow so you know that you're using your strength and not your momentum. Focusing, I'm pressing my back space into the ground. Of course, except when you rock up, the back lifts off, but otherwise, the lower back is firmly pinned down. We have about 5 more rounds here. Perhaps you want to take a few rounds with the arms lifted up so you know you're not using your arms either to support you here. Okay, bend the knees. We're just taking these little rocks, that's all, for about 10 of them. Little rocks. Up and down. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm not sure about the rest of you, but I really feel that. Hug the right knee and extend the left leg long. Little break, little twist. And crossing the knee over the body. Right arm extends long as we gaze past the right hand. Okay, so before we switch to the other side, we're coming back center and finding a figure 4 on the right side. So bending that left leg. Right ankle crosses over left thigh, and from there I'm going to lift that shape up. Hands come behind the head. Again, shoulders are lifted. I'm twisting myself over towards that right knee, doing the best we can to not draw the elbows forward. So keep them nice and wide. We're just rotating from the chest. Yep, little side twist. Wherever we are, we're about halfway through. Last 3, 2, continuing with some oblique work. Left leg down, right leg up. Both hands come to the outside of the right leg. We have 10 pulses to an upwards right diagonal. Little lift and lower, little lift. One hand can always come to support the back of the head if you need. We are about halfway there. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. We'll break by drawing both knees into the chest for a moment. Another little side to side. Holding on to the left knee, extend the right leg long. Twist on this side, draw that knee across the body, and gaze past the left arm. Come on, center. Figure 4 shape on the left side, left ankle crosses over right thigh, and draw the right shin parallel to the mat. Head and shoulders lift up enough, support the back of your head. See if you can relax your head to create less tension on the neck. And here we go, twists over towards the left side without drawing the elbows forward. We are about halfway here. 3, 2, and 1. Right foot down, left leg high. Both hands to the outside of the left leg. Here we go. Little pulses at an upwards left diagonal. About halfway there. 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees into the chest. Take a little rest. Okay, repeating the upwards diagonal motion, except if you can, on the second round, we're going to extend both legs long. So my right leg is lifted, my left leg is a few inches off the mat. If that gets too much, you can lower that leg down or keep a bend in the knee. But this time we have 10 to the right, then we alternate bicycle switches, elbow to opposite knee, and then we go straight to the left side. 10 over to the left, and then bicycles, and then we break for a bit. So right leg up, option to extend and lift that bottom leg. Upwards right diagonal pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands behind the head, bend that knee. Left elbow towards that knee and switch. Bicycle switches, these are kind of quick. 10, switch, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, without breaking. 4, we're going to the other side. 3, switch, 2, switch, 1, right away, left leg up, pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bicycles. 10, switch, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. There's one more change. 2, bear with me. 1, leg straight up to the ceiling. We alternate. Lift right, lift left. Keep switching. Option to gently lower the legs down. Even if they're slightly bent, you can begin to lower the legs. We're only here for 5 more. Switch. 4. Switch. 3. 2. And a 1. We get to pause. Hug the knees into the chest. Take some deep breaths. Okay, let's take a seat up. I wish I could say we're done with ab work, not quite yet. So arms straight in front of you. Curl That's all we're doing, and we're coming back up. So nice and simple, curling, chin to chest. We end with our arms above our head. At your own pace. Exhale as you curl down. Inhale as arms come overhead, and exhale to curl up. In breath as your arms reach up, and repeat the whole thing. The next time you come up, let's see if we can lift our legs off into a little V. Plant the feet down. We're just adding that on. So as we come back up, we test our balance. I'm going to curl up. I'm going to lift my legs as I lift my chest. And plant my feet down, lift my arms up, and curl it back. Just do this one more time. The next time you find your V, I want us to stay there. If we can raise one leg to lengthen, maybe both legs to lengthen. Otherwise, you're remaining with bent knees, that's fine. I'm going to lower my legs and my torso a couple of inches and then lift back up. Yeah, it's a lot easier with bent knees when we're first trying this. Yes, that's a good idea. You can always support yourself too. No worries. We're here for only 5 more. 4, 32. We're going to sit up on one, legs down, and find a forward fold. Okay, one more little torture thing for now. For this series, I always say last thing, but I actually mean series. Obviously, it's not the last thing. So I like my hands kind of touching in together on this one, but you can have them separate. It's really what feels best. I'm going to curl halfway down and stay where I am. If you want a real challenge, hands can come behind the head and elbows are wide. But I'm going to have my hands forwards in front of me. Once I've picked a level I'm working in, I'm going to rotate just gently over to one side. From there, I come center and other side. It's at your own pace, just shifting slowly from side to side. Come center. I'm just going to take this down an inch and up an inch. Baby pulses. Finding my way onto my elbows, so my shoulders are stacked over the elbows. And from here, I'm going to point my toes, lift up, and lower down. For a challenge, of course, long legs. Go for 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll it down. Let's take a happy baby because, I don't know, that feels like a good idea. Grabbing the outside edges of your feet. Let all of that go. We'll come onto our bellies and find our way towards a cobra just to unwind a bit. So roll it over. Make sure the pelvis isn't lifting off the ground on this one. Ideally, feet are together and lengthen out, or at least not past hip width apart. Press it back towards a classical child's pose. So instead of the arms extended and the legs open and wide, have the legs together, flip the palms to face the ceiling, drop the head, and just let everything go. finding a way either on a full plank or onto your forearm. So it's up to you. I'm going to come all the way up. Holding my plank steady, I'm going to lift my left leg up and tap the floor. That's all you're doing, just lift for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're switching sides. 1, lift right leg and lower down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're staying in plank. 1. All right. Where was I? Let's take a little pause before we do the next segment. Curling up, either forearm plank again or full on up to you. From here, I'm going to, if you're on your forearms, actually you still can. You can still draw the knee into the chest, but if there's no space there, just go ahead and tap the knee down to the floor. Ideally here, there's a 90-degree bend in that leg, and my heel is facing the ceiling. I'm drawing the knee into the chest, then I'm kicking the heel up towards the ceiling without affecting my plank. So drawing into the chest and kick up. Everything stays steady. We're here for another 8-ish. Aiming for 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a pause, extended child's pose. Come on up, finding our way towards plank. Other side. I'm on my right leg, whichever side we did not do. So knee into the chest and kick the heel to the ceiling. About 8. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. My arms are burning. I'm not sure for the rest of us, but I'm gonna walk my hands over to the left side of the mat and pour my weight into my right arm, just letting that side go. Other side. Coming back through center, I'm going to lay down on my right side. My right shoulder is stacked over the elbow. And there's variations. I'm going to keep my legs long and come into my side plank here. If that's ever too much, you can also bend the bottom knee and lift up as a modification. Arm can also reach up towards the ceiling or on the hip. So how this is going to go, I'm just lifting my top leg up and down for 10, and then hips up and down for 10, for an inch. So setting up, either bending the bottom knee or both legs long, and lift up, press into that side plank. Let's lift the top leg for 10. Little lift. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pelvis up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Whew, that was a lot. I'm spinning over to my second side. Making sure that shoulder is stacked over the elbow first. Whew, catch your breath if you need to, like me. Okay, up we go. And lift the leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pelvis up and down an inch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. We're coming onto our belly. Going a little bit into back space work before we target glutes. So I'm just going to use my arms as a pillow for now. I'm going to focus on my legs first. So relax the forehead down. Lift the legs, glue them together, and lower down. Nice and easy. Lift and lower, about 10. Five more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just the upper body. You can choose to have the arms fully extended long if you want. I'm going to keep my elbows bent and keep my forehead attached to my hands, but it's up to you. Pressing down with the floor with the tops of the feet, I'm going to lift the upper half of my body and lower down. About 10 here. Five more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Arms extend long. Only 5 with both of our upper body and lower body working together. We hold at the top on that 5th one, and we'll go swimming for a count of 10. So I'm going to drop my forehead down, take a deep breath, and let's lift. 4, 5. Everything together. 4, 3, 2. Float everything up and swim. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Press it back. You should unwind by taking a child's pose. Alright, so we're going to go towards our laying down on our right side, or side lying series, so that we're working our left leg first. But if you are left-handed, reverse it. So whichever is your non-dominant side we want to work first. So for me, that's my left side, which means I'm down on my right side. So find that. I'm going to support my head here with my hand, but you can also choose to lengthen the head down and use your arm as a pillow. I'm bending my knees slightly, and my knees are forwards of my hips. I'm tenting my right fingertips gently down. And from here, I'm just going to raise my top leg up a few inches. 90-degree bend in that leg. Knees in line with the hip, no further towards the chest. And just simply extend the leg long. Drawing in and extending. Making sure there's a little bit of space underneath your waist if you're laying fully down, so that we're not collapsed on that side of the body. Holding the leg long to the side, keep the leg parallel, lift to the ceiling, and lower. We're going to find external rotation now on the way up. So I open up from my hip, and of course the knee and the toes face the ceiling because of that hip rotation. and back forwards. So toes and knee faces the ceiling on the way up, and rotate, the hip rotates back in on the way down. One more like this. The next time your leg is in line with the body, we stay. Draw the leg forward as far as you can in front of you. Then we lift up to the ceiling. We're tracing circles, pretty much. So it's okay. I'm letting my hip open as I lift up and close on the way down. Let's reverse those circles. Lift up, forwards, and back. One more giant circle. We're going to glue the heels together, open the knees up like a book or clamshell, and close the knees. So I'm really focusing on using my strength to open up into that left hip. So I'm kind of countering my flexibility with my strength. And it's like that last inch of external rotation where I'm really feeling it in my glute, whichever side you happen to be on. About 8 more here. There is one more change, bear with me. I'm burning, I'm not sure if anyone else is. Extend the leg forwards in front of you again. We're just lifting up to the ceiling and back in front of you. Try not to let that sneaky leg reach towards the side of the body, but keeping it nice and long and in front of you. 4 more and we're done. 4, 3, 2. Yikes, and 1. Let's come onto our back, take a figure 4 on whichever side you did. So my left leg is going to cross over my right thigh. And draw that shape in. Maybe a gentle side to side, if that feels good. Find our way towards our second side. Arm long or supporting your head, up to you. Both the knees start bent slightly. Raising the top knee up a few inches, draw the knee in line with the hip, 90-degree bend in that leg, and with the flex foot, extend the heel out. Holding your leg nice and long, keep it parallel to start. Just lift straight up towards the ceiling and straight back down, without any external rotation happening yet. From here we are finding that external rotation. Don't think foot. I know it's hard on the brain. Think hip. Opens up from here. Then that, of course, will rotate the knee and the foot, but it takes a lot, even for me, as dancing all these years, to think from the hip as you open, from the hip as we close. Big circles. Draw that leg forward. Lift up and down. Whatever the hip kind of wants to do. I know I gravitate to opening my hip a little as I lift and closing it on the way down, but fine. What works for you. One more giant circle in this direction, and we reverse. Heels together, and external rotation, and in, and close. Opening the knees like a book, and close. Really try to fight at the end there for that one extra little inch of opening before you close it. We have about 5 here. Taking our last one, whatever number that may be, and we're going to extend the leg long in front of you as best you can. Last change, lift to the ceiling and lower down. 8, and we're done. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Three. Onto the back. Cross the right ankle or whichever side you just did. Onto that other thigh. And figure 4. Really flex the foot that you're, with the leg that you're stretching to protect the knee. Okay, before we stretch it out, I always like to end with feeling abs. So we're going to take full hollow body position. Always an option if this is too much on the neck and the shoulders to do the whole thing on the ground. So I'm going to demo that first. I'm just extending the legs long, arms overhead, and then swimming them back. It's over and over. But if you want to take the full variation, I have a wall in the way. I'm going to curve myself up, head and shoulders lifted, hands behind the thighs. And from there, I'm going to lift up and over me, finding that full hollow body position and sweep it back. Making sure to never have an arch underneath the low spine. If you do, just don't go as far. You can always change the angle of the legs or not reach, or keep a bend in your knees at all times too. Let's all support the head with the hands. Extend the legs to 45 degrees and freeze. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs stay straight, just up towards the ceiling and drop the head. Now, instead of rocking, which is what we did before with bent knees, we did this little rocking motion, which is still ab work. I feel it a lot. We're going to try to raise the legs straight up towards the ceiling and lift the pelvis up a couple of inches. If it's too much to keep the legs fully extended, bend the knees and do the same thing. Just lift straight up to the ceiling and straight back down. This is where we're going to finish for strengthening work. So let's just lift. I'll count the last 10. As a real test here to not use your arms at all. You can also lift your arms like I am straight towards the ceiling. You may not lift as much, but it's okay. We're on our last 10 and we're done. Lift 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Spider it out. I'm just going to extend myself long. Relax. Maybe find a big arch in your backs. It feels so good when we've been making sure to keep the low back pressed down the whole time. And a few circles through the feet. We're gonna make our way up to a lunge on the right side. So I'm just going to sit myself up. Right foot steps through between the hands. Make sure the right knee is stacked over the ankle and not forwards of that ankle. And come on up. Both hands on the top of the right thigh. Melt your pelvis forward. Option to add on a little back extension. So I'm going to interlace my hands, place that on top of my thigh, and begin to lift my chest up towards the ceiling, pressing my leg away from me. Both palms plant down. Gently extend through the right hamstring. I need to walk my front foot just a little bit forward, so you may as well lengthen out through that leg, doing the best we can to draw the right hip back and the left hip forwards to square off through the hips, and finding a long spine first before we fold forwards. So keeping that long spine and lowering belly to thigh as best we can with that extension, and then we can round the back if we want, let everything hang over. Find our way towards a runner's lunge or lizard pose. So bending back into that lunge, walking the right foot over to the right side of the mat. Both hands come to the inside of that foot. Lots of options here. You can tuck the back toes, energize the back leg, and walk the arms forward. Or your most active version of lizard if you so choose. Otherwise, you can go ahead and drop the knee down. Perhaps the forearms come down on the mat as well. And it's okay if you feel that that right leg is starting to externally rotate. That's a valid choice. But pick one. Pick if you want that leg to open up or remain closed and parallel. Opt to stay right here in your lizard pose, or I'm going to come on up. Reach my right hand behind me, a little twist. Perhaps you bend that back knee and catch the pinky side of the foot. If it ever doesn't happen or it's too much on that knee, just forget about it. Hang out in your lizard for a few more breaths. With control as always, we release that leg. Walking the right foot over to the left side of the mat, we find our way towards pigeon on the right side. So my right knee is near my right wrist. Actively point or flex the foot depending on how parallel your shin is to the top of the mat. Extend the back leg nice and long. Make sure the hips are even here. And go ahead and melt forwards. Beginning to walk ourselves back up. I'm going to take a one-legged dog here. So tuck the back toes under, energize the back leg. My shoulders are stacked over the wrists. I push the floor away, lifting the right leg up and above you. Maybe you open that hip and bend that knee. We'll land ourselves back in our downward dog. Perhaps you want another pedal through your feet. And left knee into the chest as we step that foot through between the hands and lower the back knee down, finding our lunge on the second side. Option to add in that little back bend, so interlace the palms, lengthen pushing my leg away from me, finding some space in my back. Both hands release down to the mat. I like to toe heel my right heel slightly forwards, about an inch or so, before I extend out. Just gives me a little bit more room here. Long spine to start. Feel how far you can keep that long spine going, and only round at the last moment. Relax the head down, take deep breaths, actively pulling the left hip back to square off. From here, finding our way toward the runner's lunge or lizard pose, so walking the left foot over to the left side of the mat. Once again, the options are keep the back leg nice and long, tuck the toes under, and walk the hands forward for active lizard pose. Otherwise, a little lazier lizard, we can drop that knee down and drop the forearms down. Feel free to keep hanging out here in your lizard and skip the quad stretch, or we can come on up. I'm going to take my left arm and reach it behind me. From there, bending the back knee, capturing the pinky side of the foot, and aiming to root the pelvis further down towards the ground. Gently, without ricocheting, letting that leg down slowly. And we're going to walk, toe heel the left foot over to the right side of the mat, finding our way towards our pigeon shape on the second side. If you're more flexible than me and the shin is parallel to the top of the mat, really flex the foot. Otherwise, point the foot. And long spine to start, and go ahead and walk yourself down, checking in with those hips. We do not want to be falling from one side or the other. They're nice and evenly stacked. Supporting ourselves gently as we walk on up. One-legged dog again. So make sure you walk back enough that your shoulders are stacked over the wrist. Tuck the back toes, energize the back leg. I am pushing the floor away to lift my left leg up and back. One-legged dog, open up the hip, bend that knee. Returning back towards your downward dog, take another pedal through the feet. Lower the knees down. Option 4, soles of the feet together, knees apart, so butterfly shape or Supta Baddha Konasana in yoga. So these are your choices. Butterfly shape, or for some reason, this is supposed to be the easier one. They say, for my body, no, for some reason. So I'm going to choose a straddle. So either a straddle or butterfly, whatever works better for your body. Same concept, long spine. Hinge, think hinge at the hips, without rounding the back as best you can. If you have a block or something, that can also be useful to prop yourself up to enable that long spine to happen. But if not, don't worry about it. Try to find that long spine as best you can, and when you're ready, go ahead and roll the spine down. If you are in the straddle like I am, do make sure that your knees and your toes are facing up towards the ceiling and you have active engagement in your legs. So my quads are fired here a little bit. Beginning to support ourselves up as we gently come on up. If you are in that straddle, or if not, it doesn't matter. We're going to kind of grab underneath the knees and find our feet flat on the floor and just take a gentle little windshield wiper. So dropping both knees down to one side and another side. Finding your way lengthwise or back to your position on your mat. Words have escaped me. All right. Curling down the spine, drawing the heels in towards the seat. Let's just unwind from that forward fold by taking a gentle back bend up bridge. So lifting the pelvis up, and we're going to stay here for a sneaky little strengthener. So make sure your legs are hip width apart and parallel. Just gently tap the knees together without changing anything. And release back parallel. Just a few times. I don't know why this makes me shaky every single time, but it does. Gently roll down the spine. This is not technically a yoga class, but I do like to end in Shavasana anyways for a little bit of meditation. So let's hug the knees into the chest. Take a deep breath in, and when you're ready, we let everything expand long on the mat. Legs are super wide. Palms are facing up towards the ceiling. And this is a time to just let go of everything that just happened. Let your body melt into the ground. Breathing here, I'm just going to play with some sounds. Feel free, if you wish, to with me or open up your voices as well. Otherwise, just lay still and listen to the sounds. Some movement in your fingertips, maybe your toes, rocking the head gently from side to side. Anything that feels good to begin to reawaken your body. We'll roll over to one side and press our way towards the seat. Do keep the eyes closed. Palms can be face down on your knees or palms face up.